Hey, babe.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Take better care of your books. That was for the book. She's not happy with how her book looks.
Thank you for giving context.
Yeah, no, it's very important. And it was not external factors, that led to how the book looks. So accountability is also important.
I'm glad that you are actually, internalizing all these books that we're reading. You're executing the lessons, ne?
As one should.
Even though you're not finishing the book.
You had to throw it in there.
Yeah.
Like you had to throw that one in there. It's fine. It's okay. Clearly, you let your ego win this time.
I told you last Monday. Anyway, so we're back. Welcome back, guys. Another Monday, another book review. Today we're reviewing The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav. Another challenging read because of the life lessons, but it's what I think for me it was just one of those books that help you understand other human beings, or rather human beings in general, and how to interact with others. Yeah, it's just one of those books. But it's about human experiences and spiritual awakening and enlightenment and being the bigger person.
And I'm not challenging that in any way. It's just I think we must all accept that we are all here and just trying to build theories as to why we're here and what the greater purpose is.
But he's telling you again.
Also, right, because he wrote a book.
No, I'm not saying he's right, but he's just giving you an idea.
I would take it. You can
take it.
Or not
take it.
That's fine. And that's the beauty of being able to read. You can read and not take it.
Yeah. Okay, so did the author make a logical argument?
Why are you labeling this book, guys? I think it makes for an interesting read, especially if the direction of the book is where you are spiritually. He speaks of the soul. He speaks of
addiction,
multi dimensions, multi-sensory dimensions. Is it anyway?
Multi-sensory human
experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Basically saying there's you in your person right now, and then there's a personality. There's a personality, and then there's a soul.
A higher you, and then there's a personality. Sorry. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not at a point where I get the hierarchies right and all of that, and I know a lot of people are going to argue with me. But anyway, that's the direction that the book is going. So if that is where you are spiritually, then the book will make a lot of sense to you. He does make a logical argument, and almost it's as if he anticipates the arguments that are going to be brought forward. So he will say something and then he will rationalize it. An example, he said, for page 29,
okay.
The decision to become a reverent person is essentially the decision to become a spiritual person. There is currently no place for spirituality within science, politics, business, or academia. I get? So I don't know if I should, but let's go. Let's continue. To a 5-sensory personality that lacks reverence, a reverent businessman or businesswoman appears to be competing at a disadvantage because the range of his or her activities is not unlimited. And a reverent politician appears to be unqualified for leadership in a world where the only power that is recognized is external power. Yet, to a multisensory human, a reverent businessman or businesswoman is a person who infuses a new energy into the archetype of entrepreneur, shifting it from a dynamic that is motivated by profits that are generated by serving others to a dynamic of serving others that is made possible by prophets, and a reverend politician is a person who challenges the concept of external power and brings to the political arena the concerns of the heart. So, a very loaded paragraph. One that we should take from that is this is not the reading for entry level. Right?
Okay.
Where it answers my question of does he make a logical argument? For me, he does, in his own way, and he anticipates what we are going to ask him. And in this saying, he almost says, "Hore, depending on the perspective that you're looking at things, you are either going to be multisensory, or that, or the five sensory. The five sensory where we have our five senses. Multisensory more than that, but your soul, your personality, those ones come in." So in summary, yes, he does attempt to rationalize his arguments. For you?
For me, yes. He does make a logical argument. And I love the fact that it was just not he touched on everything. He touched on addiction, he touched on relationships, he touched on the ego, he touched on karma. So there's a lot of, and this book is not a book that you have to read from front to back. You can actually just go through the chapters and start with the chapter that most align with you at the moment, but then I'd advise you to start from the beginning, because there are more evolution where he explains stuff like five multisensory, and he elaborates further on the personality and what it entails, and then it will help you navigate throughout the book, because then you'll know what exactly he means about when he mentions stuff like that. So there's a part, because I don't want you to be lost, because it's a very, very, very good book, where I think on page 14, but it's not on page 14 for you, because I remember our books are not the same. And not the same. He says here that only the personality, because remember we were talking about the five sensory human beings and the multi-sensory human beings. So he says this is now the five sensory human beings who have the personality, who personality, they drive ke personality. Okay, so he says only the personality can feel anger, fear, hatred, vengeance, sorrow, shame, regret, indifference, frustration, and loneliness. Only the personality can judge, manipulate, and exploit. Only the personality can pursue external power. The personality can also be loving, compassionate, and wise in its relations with others. But love, compassion, and wisdom do not come from the personality. They are experiences of the soul. You get?
I get.
So I think when you read from evolution, you get to really understand that when you start judging, or when you start how I so like I can like me what within a behavior so and then we tend to also do that with people that we like. We maybe you like someone so much that you don't want to offend them. Then when they don't act accordingly, then you always defend them in like, how so? Like she doesn't mean it in a bad way, but then you offended somebody, or that behavior was not, sharp. So yeah,
I remember when we were reading this book, I don't know, but I remember I took it with me hiking. I think it was before the review, and I was really trying to just make some progress with the book. And I was asked, okay, what are you reading? It was really difficult for me to explain, or what am I reading?
And what is it about?
And I remember the thing I kept saying, this book challenges you, right? To recognize your behaviors and who you are as a person, and how you can be more awakened, right? And I remember I kept saying, nah, I just want to be a potato, guys. Like I don't want to grow.
I
remember that night. Again, this is one of those books that you need to be ready for change. And I think when we read it, I was not ready.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not a book that you binge read.
Yeah. But also it makes like when you read it, there are stuff that you come across that just makes sense. It's like, oh, like that's why I was saying that it's one of those books that you read to understand yourself better. Because of when you read them, you're like, oh, that's why this happens. Because remember, there's a part in the book where Gary says, sometimes when, like, we are connected spiritually, like we are all spiritual beings, right? So he says, sometimes when you're thinking about somebody, like you miss somebody, and then that person in that moment, I'll send a text or I'll phone in. How many times has that happened to you? It happens quite a lot of times. And then he says that it's because of, in the spiritual world, you were like linked. While you thinking of them, they're also thinking of you. So there were like a lot of aha moments. Oh, that's it.
I'm glad you guys had your aha moments. I am very envious that you guys had your aha moments. And if you remember, when we reviewed this book in the book club, do you remember how lost I was? I remember. No, it's not even Kama. You guys were speaking about you get assistance.
Oh yeah.
You can tell, yeah.
No, but then assistance is just like the alchemist. Like following like the omens that we were speaking about, the universe, the dreams, it's the same, like your guides, your teachers. It's
that's where I was lost.
Yeah,
is this an actual person?
I remember.
You laughed exactly like
because I couldn't believe like what. No, but yes, he speaks of guides and teachers, that there are guides and teachers that will help you see like through your spiritual journey, and it's the same.
It's the same, like
as the alchemist. Like, no,
because I still don't get it.
No, it's like the omens, the dreams, it can be. I think it can be a physical person. Maybe you're a spiritual person, like a spiritual guide. But then what he says in the book, it's like the universe, showing you signs, or it's okay, the dreams, you're following your heart, stuff like that.
I'm just saying. I was thoroughly lost in the book. I follow the logic, but somewhere I need someone to sit down with me and tell me what guide as a or how do I recognize a guide, but without going into a lot of detail about those things. Sometimes I think it happens different authors can speak about the same concept just differently. Overly an author that you relate to better depending on how they explain it to you.
But then it's the same as Kamko, the alchemist, Polo.
And when you didn't get the alchemist, and I did.
No, I got him.
Yeah,
I
but you didn't appreciate
him, but
it.
I don't like his writing. I think I don't like his books, all of them, or the ones that I've read by him.
Ego.
But it's not an ego.
That's okay.
I'm judging.
Have you read all his books?
I'm saying the ones I read. That's what I said. I said I'm judging because now we are criticizing the books, right? We are reviewing the books, and I'm allowed to stand outside and be like, I'm not saying I don't like him. I don't know him.
Okay.
But I don't like his work.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, my lasting impression of the book, I'm just gonna say that I love the fact that it has a study guide, even though I didn't go through all of it. I just went through the ones that resonated with me or the ones that I wanted to work on as a person with problems. So yeah, so it has like a whole study guide where you go through again the lesson in detail. Like it's just like a short synopsis or whatever of the chapter, like a summary of the chapter, and then it has like these questions that you need to answer for yourself. And yeah, that was very interesting for me. And I think if you're going through life or you like a spiritual awakening and this is the book that you'd like to read someday, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
You? Lasting impression?
It's difficult to say because I still don't get what he means for the seat of the soul. But that's okay. That's also partly my fault because I struggled through the book. I did not finish it. I know there are study guides and perhaps I need to go back.
Yeah. Or just start with the study guide because you know what the study guides have? It's like they have the summary. Ne? Summary, I think, it gives you a lot. It's like you with the summary you can really get enough to answer those questions. And then if ever it's something that you want to touch on, like you really want to go into the chapter in detail, then you can go and then just check with stuff like the stuff that he says, because sometimes he uses terms that he himself maybe I keep it.
You know what, if you're still struggling with concepts like karma, reincarnation, the soul and all of, you might find this book a bit challenging.
Now on a reincarnation, that's where he lost me.
No, I want. So yeah, you're not abroad to the book. It's okay, you know what.
Okay, so what are you rating the book?
I don't know, 3 perhaps.
Okay.
I'll give it a 3.
4.5. 4.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.5.
Alright.
Because it was not a bad book.
No, I don't think it is, Shem. Wait again.
But yeah, it's also like just one of those books that you don't binge read. Yeah.
No, you would have lost the lessons if you're going to binge read.
Yeah. So anyway, happy reading. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.